Jesus on the main line, tell what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. Line ain't never busy, tell what you want. You know his line ain't never busy, tell him what you want. His line ain't never busy, tell what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. Well, if you're sick and you wanna get well, tell him what you want. Yeah. If you're sick and you wanna get well, tell him what you want. If you're sick and you wanna get well, tell him what you want. Come on, call him up and tell him what you want. Singing again, y'all. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Come on, Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. Bring it way down. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Ooh.
If you're going to be a gospel or blues singer or whatever, I grew up in the right place. I think my family moved to Jackson, Mississippi when I was, I think, 2 or 3 years old.
I said it. Call him up. I need the number right now. I said, call him up, call him up, call him up, and tell him what you want. Jesus, Jesus on the main line.
Growing up in Mississippi, you couldn't help but be influenced by the black, the black gospel that was coming out at the time. Our music was more like it was very European, very English, German, and then the black church was and that was foreboding, and the church I grew up in. But that was what my brothers and I were playing at home. We would listen to the radio broadcast from the black churches coming out on Sunday morning, and it was that was before Elvis and before rock and roll. But it sounded like rock and roll,
Did anybody ever talk to you about a Caucasian kid performing Black American tunes at a time of racial tension?
I think it was kind of frowned upon in the church.
So you were a rebel.
Well, I don't know if I was a rebel. I was just absorbing what was coming out. But I just loved the music. I mean, most of my favorite rhythm and blues and artists came out of the church. One of the first records I remember my family having that my dad brought home was Elvis's first single, That's All Right Mama, and my brothers and I wore that record out. I think these songs are such a part of our history, Mary Don't You Weep, because it's a song I've been doing for a long time. I don't know when I first heard it, Talk about Mary. Mary, don't you weep. Mother loved them all. Well, Mary, don't you weep. Tell mother loved them all. Pharaoh's heart. Know they got drowned in the Red Sea. Talking about Mary. Mother loved them all.
surely would. Come on. I'd stand on a rock where Moses stood. Pharaoh's army. You know they got drowned in the Red Sea. Oh, Mary, tell mother not the morning. Gave Noah the rainbow sign. He said no more water. We're gonna send fire next time. The golden got drowned in the Red Sea. I'm talking about Mary. Oh, mother, not the morning. We're talking about Mary. Mother, not the morning. Will Mary know you weep? Mother, not the morning. Will Mary know you weep? Mary know you weep. Talking about Mary. Mother, not the morning. Bring it on down. You moan.
Hammond did a record with Long John Baldry in 1986, and ended up touring with him for about 20 years. And he was a big influence on me musically. Every concert we did together, he featured me as a lead vocalist and gave me a part of the show. Helped me get a following in Europe and also in Canada.
Well, who's that writing? John the Revelator. Who's that writing? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writing? John the Revelator. He wrote the book of the seven seas. Oh, now God walking down in the cool of the day, called Adam by name, but he refused to answer, 'cause he was naked and ashamed. God's Almighty, now who that writing? John the Revelator. Who that writing? John the Revelator. Oh, who that writing? John the Revelator. He wrote the book of the seven seals. Now Christ had 12 apostles and 3 laid away. said, watch for me 1 hour. I'll go yonder and pray. Good God Almighty, now who that writing? I wonder who that writing? Tell me who that writing? He wrote the book of the 7 seas. Jesus rose on Easter morning, and Mary and Martha came down to see. He said, go tell my disciples to meet me in Galilee. Good God Almighty, now who that writing? John the Revelator. Who that writing? John the Revelator. Tell me who that writing? John the Revelator. He wrote the book of the 7 seas. Oh, say it again, y'all. Who that writing? John the Revelator. Who that writing? John the Revelator. Tell me who that writing? John the Revelator. He wrote the book of the 7 seas. Tell me who that writing? John the Revelator. Tell me who that writing? John the Revelator. Tell me who that writing? John the Revelator. He wrote the book of the 7 seas. Tell me who that writing? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writing? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writing? John. He wrote the book of 7 seas.
Went through 7 weeks of radiation. Lost my voice for about a year. I could still speak, but the radiation, it was pretty traumatic, and doctors told me my voice probably wouldn't come back, and I was, my faith and God and the prayers from so many people around the world were, I think a major reason that my voice came back. It came back 100%. I listened to the gospel every day when I was going through this. It was a big comfort to me.
I was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and raised my soul believe. How precious been that grace appeared in the hour
I try to pray every day. Some days I forget, but God, Jesus is my inspiration. I think putting your story out there, your faith out there is a message to everybody. I'm not a preacher, you know. I was brought up in the church and everything, but I think sometimes, you know, the music will touch people where some other things couldn't, you know. And that's what I do.
Help me, somebody. I'd rather have Jesus than man's alone. I'd rather be faithful to His call. I'd rather have Jesus than the world I think. I'd rather be true to His holy name than to be a king of a vast domain, than be held in sins and pain. I'd rather have Jesus than anything this world can afford today. Than to be a king of a vast domain, than be held in sins this way. I'd rather have Jesus than anything this world can afford today. Today, all right. Jesus was all right. Let me sing it, y'all. I'd rather have Jesus. Come on, clap your hand now. I'd rather have Jesus. 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 All of the silver, all the gold. I'd rather have Jesus. I'd rather have Jesus. Come on. I'd rather have Jesus. All of the riches untold. I'd rather have Jesus than be a king of everything. All right. I'd rather have Jesus. Ooh, oh yeah. I'd rather have Jesus than be a king of rock and roll. I'd rather have Jesus. Ooh, Lord, come. Anything in this whole wide world. Take it through the folk home.